Hey, what's up, everybody, man? Welcome to the Gemini Lounge. So, today we're going to talk about the latest grift, I think I want to say, in unfortunately, my community. The latest grift is this Nolan Wells case. Now, let me not get it confused. I don't know what happened in this case. There could be thousands of explanations. And in all honesty, listen, I went to boarding school. I went to an all rich white boarding school in Virginia. And I've been around like, that group. I've been the one black in the group. I've also had some really good white friends in my life too. I've had some white dudes that were terrorists, the football dude named Bubba, big football bully. But I also had like my roommate who was a tennis player. My boy Travis used to take me home to Raleigh, North Carolina, man. Used to hang out during breaks with his family. They treated me well. They treated me good. So again, we have to judge people by the content of their character, not really necessarily by the race, because anybody can do you dirty. Now, so today, I'm not here to talk about. I don't know what happened, so I can't assign any. I'll wait to hear the full investigation. But what I am here to talk about is again this the. I don't even know how to say it without sounding like a jerk. I can't help but notice this pattern of like black women kind of going like jumping to conclusions and being overly emotional about everything. This is not to say that this isn't suspicious. I do find this to be a little suspicious. I mean, I have no evidence. I just find it to be suspicious, just using my own common sense. Usually, if you go out with a crew, you come back with a crew. It's very rare. I mean, some evidence should come out. It should have been like he went off with a girl. Last time I heard, he was doing this. He was called. We haven't heard anything. There's all kinds of weird things happening behind the scenes. But again, my point is, even if it's the case that something foul has happened, which we don't know, this doesn't mean there's this thing where like white people are out to get us or they're hunting us or like and that now brings me to what I argue like our women fueling a lot of this racism that's going on in the black community. I don't know really what's going on with our women. I don't know if they're bored, they're upset, they lost some government jobs. They seem to have way more beef. Now I guess I'm just a coon sellout as they call me, but I've been just as black as them my whole life, and I'm more concerned with trying to put some green in my pockets, and keep my integrity and honor than to try to get some ancient revenge on people that weren't alive, when the bad stuff happened. And honestly, my own people are more frightening than any group of whites could ever be. Let's keep it real, man. Like when I see groups of white people, I'm never scared. I'm never scared. Let's ask yourself that personally. Are you scared when you see groups of white people ever? Now, even myself as a black man, if I see groups of black people, my sixth sense starts to go off. The horns start playing in my head. It's the truth. You could lie for whatever reasons, but you'd be foolish not to acknowledge this. But again, I want us to examine the tone. Again, they know just as much as I do about this case. We could find out later if something weird happened, the kid fell. It could. I was listening. I'm gonna give shout outs to Angry Man because I was listening to his podcast and he made a very good point about sometimes fights happen. I don't know if I heard they were friends or at least known each other, but sometimes men fight. But I've been in mad fights where we in a group, we chilling for half the night, and it's one bad moment, man, and two dudes are scrapping it out, and something bad happens, and everybody panics. It happens, okay? So I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. But what I am surprised at is the tone of these grown adults. And I'm going to tell you, they're not doing this because they care about this kid. I'm arguing that black women are out here crashing out rhetorically, emotionally, spiritually. They're crashing out, and it has nothing to do with caring for black communities or black people. I think it's just attention. I think they just want to be part of a dramatic play. And I'm also sick of these washed up black actresses and actors because they've been doing this for the last 10 years. That's the whole Hollywood. It just seems to work. They get a Meg Thee Stallion, they get a Beyonce, they get a Jay-Z, they get a LeBron, they get some washed up woman like this lady here. I forget her name's I forget Jennifer Lewis. Kind of, and if you, I just saw an interview with her where she was talking about all the men she slept with throughout her life, and she finally started to see her value. These are women are nuts, and we're anybody listening to them because they're on TV, you're just as nuts as they are. But if you don't believe me, listen to her words. Now, I know how my community is going to respond. I know how 99% of the women in my community, they're going to think she's saying something powerful and deep. And probably a good percentage of white liberals and all the other liberals, you'll think she's saying something deep. I argue she's saying something very disgusting, and it should be frowned upon. And she should be like people like her should be. I like we shouldn't listen to her in society. But I'm just a sellout. But anyway, you know what? Roll with me, man. Maybe I don't know. Maybe you could convince me in the comment section that I'm just bugging that she's making legitimate points. Because I just don't see it. Let's go.
Stop killing our children, son of a bitch. We don't care if you think you're rich. We love our children and the color of their skin, and we're getting tired of being called as the next of kin. You twisted monsters are going too far. Don't you know your own children will suffer if you keep magnifying this civil war?
Ladies and gentlemen, look at the evil in this woman's eyes. Pure evil. Pure satanic. My opinion, this woman represents everything bad in the world. This is when I think of, I had that old yellow book, my book of Bible stories. Remember the yellow book with the red letters, and it had the very beautiful pictures? And they had a picture of Jezebel, and she had like these claws, like clawish fingers, and her eyes were like, that's what I see. These Hollywooders, these are the people, these are to me, when we think about it biblically, if I was going to use it as an analogy, they're like Satan's army. They're the ones out there playing the music. Because remember, Satan is in charge of music and entertainment. That was his gift, even in heaven. Beauty, all the things we lust for. Who represents that better than a Hollywooder? Someone in the industry, an athlete, people who work directly for the power structures. I don't know this woman's personal background, but I do know a little bit from what she said about her basically sleeping with half of Hollywood. This was out of her own words. I mean, her own mouth. I recently she's been on a little run on the internet lately. She was really just talking to some black woman on some feminist stuff, which I keep pointing out about how she didn't know the value of her body and she was giving it away. But I just want you to know she's not alone. But my question is she just part of the group, or is she leading the group of black women? Because it's not just her. From the Hollywood down to the mom and pop, to the person that works to the teacher in your school, to the person that works as a secretary, they all feel this way. I don't have that anger that she has, and most of the dudes I know, the dudes that do have it, they're very emotional. I kind of liken them to like women, so I can't get away from this idea. It's not that I'm misogynistic. I can't help but to notice what women, how women are responding in this moment, and it's not something that should lead a nation. And think about it: if they're the primary caregivers of our children, what are they raising? They're going to raise generations of children who hate society the same way this grown grandma does.
The people are becoming more and more empowered.
Indoctrinated.
You can hide your face, but not your soul, coward.
Project much?
Once again, we love our children.
No, we don't. No, we don't. And no, she does not either. All the stats say that's bullcrap what she's saying. Every stat that's out there that's really based on real math and what we do. Abortion rates. Okay, rates. Again, understand percentages for you low IQ dude, you GED failing students. Understand rates. Rates are very important. It's the percentage of your population. The percentage of your population that does certain behaviors. And in my community, we unalive little babies by the millions. By the millions. She advocates for a woman's right to just be free over our children's right to even have a chance at life. Full of crap. All of these Hollywooders, all of these leftists, all of these feminists, full of crap when it comes to anything regarding children, family, country, or being God. Anything regarding those like five things that comes out their mouth, it's all cap. It's all bullcrap. Second, we unalive our young people from ages 12 to 25. They unalive each other by the dozens a week, if not a day in the summer. Dozens every week. Dozens every week. Women, children, infants, babies. She will still vote for the policies that allow the people in our community to run wild, get third, fourth, fifth, sixth chances to unalive fellow black people that she claims to love. America, this is a demon club. This is not the place you want to take advice from. This is not the person you want to look at as a wise elder.
And the color of their skin.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Look.
All right, hold on. So you heard from the OG showing you the generational like anger. There's no wisdom in our elders. It's not just Hollywood. Even all our elders, our 80, 70, 80-year-old women think the same way as her. There's no thought difference between the 80-year-old black woman and the 12-year-old black woman. This is not misogyny, people. Listen to another one. You just met her. What? She probably like 70 something. What is this one? I don't know. But then I know this little thing on the. I don't. For everything. Tell you, they looking at Juneteenth as a way to just hate white people, hate America, and yet claim FBA. Well, FBA stands for Foundational Black American. You can't be FBA without the American. You just FB.
It is. But the whole point of them giving us Juneteenth was to not celebrate the 4th. Nothing against y'all that's barbecuing and doing y'all thing
You hear
on the
that?
4th. But the whole point of them giving our people Juneteenth and recognizing Juneteenth
She right though. She
was
right
to
though.
not celebrate the 4th.
She's right.
Clock that. Stop letting your
Clocked. Listen, she's right for all the wrong reasons, but she's absolutely right. They gave us Juneteenth, Joe Biden and Kamala over George Floyd, over that moment, over the whole radical. They putting black, regular looking women, obese women statues up in New York just because, hey, that's a plain black woman. Hey, we should worship her. So that was the Democrat movement. Meg the Stallion popping it for the Democratic Party. Cardi B, the one who used to call y'all roaches, allegedly, used to call black women roaches when she was broke. Now she getting money. She's a political figure. The corporation tell her to clean it up. Now everybody's nice. Everybody's kind. Yeah, they're kind when they're rich. Yeah, I clocked it. The Democratic Party gave black Americans Juneteenth to take away from July 4th. They purposely did it because the Democratic Party under Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Barack Obama as the head one. Because this doesn't happen until Barack changed. I hate that a black man is the face of like the ending of America. I really do. I really do. Because in my whole story, black men have been great. Frederick Douglass, Martin Delaney, Booker T. Washington, W.E.B. Du Bois, Martin Luther King. Like we went through Malcolm X. We went through so many great black men that have just done nothing but made the country greater, that we bring in this half white, half African dude to represent us, and that's the face of the downward decline, the face of like destruction. And I see it. This ain't me just. I'm not a Republican or a Democrat, man. I'm an American. I will crap on either side to save the country. And when I mean the country, I mean my family, and I mean the family of the people that grew up around my family. I mean us. I don't mean the new ones. And hey, the new ones, listen, if you here, you love the country, we together. It's that simple. But those that come here to divide, you're not my family. And I would never align with these people. But I want you to see the only reason they're able to get away with it is because they're women. If men were out here leading this type of conversation, something would have been done. But you allow women under feminism, under the Democratic Party, because they would never piss off black women. That's 90, that's 80%. That's an 88% vote of a whole culture.
Your fucking kids be friends with white folks. And this is not to say it's not always
The
about
mothers.
race. It's not that deep. That's the motherfucking problem. Y'all going it's not that deep back into slavery because it is that motherfucking deep.
Baby girl, I know that we keep bringing up slavery, but I swear to you, I ain't never seen a day of slavery in my life. It's only in movies and books and people talking about it. I've never seen a slave. Never. My mama ain't see a slave. You gotta go back to possibly my grandmother, who's rest in peace. She's no longer here. My grandparents, they all in the ground. All the people who have seen a slave, possibly as little kids, because my grandmother's not even old enough, who's already unalive. She's not even old enough to really be in slavery, but she might have been as a little girl seen somebody who, when they were younger, was in slavery. It's my grandmother. I'm 51. It's that far removed. But why is it weighing so much on the minds of a woman in 2026? What is she connecting from slavery to today? And how did she make that connection, America? She made it through the Democratic Party. She made it through Hollywood. She made it through movies. She made it through YouTube media, the whole shebang bang. From Lauryn Hill singing about it, from Bob Marley, and like and I get it. I feel it. It is something to be remembered. You should always remember your ancestors. But your ancestors didn't. You think you think living in their horror while not living in their horror is really something like you're giving them props or you're honoring them? It's kind of. I think they would frown on you. I think the ancestors, without much, because they didn't get to live in free times. They didn't get to see it. They don't know like all these luxuries we've had for a whole lifetimes, generations. Where even if the white man's still being mean to us, and by the law, he really can't flex the way he did when our ancestors really were slaves. He can't do those things. He can't, and you know it. He hasn't been able to do these things in two, three generations. You have to go at least two generations. You have to go back to like the 60s and 50s, and really. And I know you could point out incidences, but let's be real. We've done outnumbered them incidences in the 70s and the 80s by tens, by hundreds. What we do to each other. The biggest threat to the black man today is the black man led under the tutelage of the black woman. And the black woman that I'm introducing you, that raises these guys that go out there and run the streets, they're these women. Even if they got good jobs, even if they go to church, look at their spirits, America. Look at their spirits, Christians. Real so-called Christians, people of Christ. Can you really accept this? Can you really be? Is this a Christ-like thought? But you believe? Why you don't chastise it? Because you're afraid. You're afraid to be called a racist, calling out what I think is clear racism.
Because they allow us to feel like we're accepted to a position where
Feel
we
like,
start thinking like we're one of them. And I just so eloquently had to tell
who told you to think you're one of them? No, but there's no one that ever said, "Yo, you." Maybe we told each other that code switching. We got to act white and then go back to acting black. But I feel like that's something that the race hustlers, man, just be yourself. If you're a good person, no matter how you are, how you talk, how you live, they're gonna see it. Your language, your style, your accent. If you're good, people are gonna recognize it. I promise you. If you're bad, it doesn't matter what you say. Just like these people think they're saying good things, and I just see nothing but bad.
some of my kids that I mentor. You have to
Ment-
be
mentor. Think about it.
twice as good as them to get half of what they get.
Okay. I don't even understand this line of thinking anymore. I grew up hearing that. Yeah, okay. All right, what? Maybe I don't get half of what they get. Who's they? And which one? Because I know some white boys right now that I got more money than. I do. I like there's some white boys that I go to my little spot where I hang out after work. I got white boys, they're servers. They serve me. They bring me menus. They wait on my tip. Like, am I competing with him? There's white boys that wash my car. There's white boys that do other things for me that I don't do for other people. Am I competing? Is he beating me? Am I beating him? Uh, what are we competing for still, people? All of the black women I know got cushy jobs. If they have even a bachelor's degree, if they went to one of these black colleges, got a degree, or went to the military, they all got good government or good jobs, living in homes. So who are I could take you outside right now and I could show you crackheads all up and down the block that are white.
Because you have to understand the system that they operate in is not because they're white, it's because their whiteness
Huh?
gives them the ability and the privilege to do so. So when we allow
Says who? Says you?
our kids to be friends with other races, even this particular situation that just happened with this young man that came up missing after he was on
Look on her neck, America. Look at that on her neck. Look at my little thing there. I can't help but notice that this is why I can't go to these churches. I darn sure can't go to a black church. I darn sure can't go to a white liberal progressive church because it's the same energy. They just claim to love these type of black women. That's the difference between a liberal white progressive church and a black church. The black church will say they hate all of them. The liberal white church will say we hate everybody, but we like them. The black woman that hates us. We're cool with them. We understand why she hates us. We understand why she hates our children. We're willing to sacrifice our children to her children. That's what these white liberals are doing and progressives. And I gotta ask, where's the men in their world? I know the reason why our women are running their mouths. That's with government help. White men. Why are your women doing all this? But I understand these women that are running their mouths, they're not actually under any white man's, like they're under their fathers, who is probably some liberal professor.
boat ride with three other young white men. You put them in a position where they begin to believe that they are equals.
They are equals. What is she talking about? First of all, maybe not actually. The black kid, from what I hear, he was playing football for his community college. He was well liked in today's world. Actually, if he gets his community college and goes on to a four-year college, he gets his degree. He looked clean cut, coming from a good family, good neighborhood. No, I think the black dude is actually has a higher potential. I know some of them are the children of judges, but like you said, they already got those spots. Like it's already, but as far as growth, the black man has the highest potential of growth, and I think it's very real. So again, look at her. They're dreamy, cross Christian, but hates white people. Tell it Christian is not saying stay away from non-Christians. She's saying stay away from white people. I'm talking to you white Christians out there that side with these liberals. Will you sacrifice your children to be the hypocrite?
And it's not to say that they aren't.
Oh, you just
I take that back because they aren't.
what?
We have
What?
to get back to teaching our kids that
What?
we are the superior.
Oh God. You see why we're removing men like me and other not these weird men that listen to these goofy women that are all over the place. When you remove the other thought, the logical thought, it takes you a long time to come. And she's coming to the same conclusion as me. And I don't think he's superior. I said he has more potential under the new current dynamics. See where she went? Superior. They want revenge, these black women, for whatever they felt happened in slavery. Because I don't think most of them read books. I don't, at least according to the statistic. They're not like, we're not all historians. I could show you dozens of books of mine where I've read up on every angle of this, from, what's his name? Like whether the the Civil War was about freeing blacks, or whether the Civil War was more of an economic, ushering in the Industrial Revolution from England, like all even geopolitical. I've like sat in classrooms and argued with professors over this, argued with other students. I mean, like almost fistfights in class because that's how. But we arguing. I had to the sword. The sword had to be sharpened. They're not doing that to be so. When I'm listening to these people, I don't think they're doing that. Do you?
We are the blueprint. We are the foundation.
How? Of
It is
what?
hard to be friends with someone whose culture comes from is rooted in creating oppression for a group of people.
I wish I could get up and go get my book. I could show you how slavery has been going around for thousands of years, multiple cultures. We're just the last culture to be really the face of it, but it's been around for a long, long time. I can also go into a book showing how the British, even fighting the Americans, fighting Spain, Portugal, all the British. And I can't stand the British, but historically, these are great people. Did you know that they went around the oceans, the Western world oceans, looking for any ship that had slaves on it? They were jailing and prisoning like other white countries for transporting slaves. They ended slavery way before everybody else did. England blew my mind, blew my mind, blew my mind when I first read that book. I'm sitting there like, oh my God, these dudes are like superheroes. They're really like going around the whole world looking for slave ships, trying to free black people for no in other countries, going to war with other countries, telling countries, yo, if we catch you out in them oceans with them, it's going to be problems. This is what the English were doing. Real history, documented. I could tell you what the Africans were doing, trying their best to get more slaves, sell more slaves to these Europeans and Arabs to get them profitable. She don't know what she's talking about. She don't know what she's talking about. She doesn't know what she's talking about, people. But yet, why does the world listen to these goofies? Look at her house. Look at nice house, nice little gold chain, chilling. She thinks she's a slave. When will you learn to not listen to this?
A race of people. And these are the friends that our black kids believe that they can be friends with. That's their family that they come from. That's not how this shit works. And this is coming from somebody. I went to some of the whitest high schools, was able to adapt. I'm talking.
Bingo. Bingo. Thank you for saying that. You see, I also went to some of these really rich white schools. And you know why? Because, and even though there was a lot of racism in them, it's a lot of more classism, to be honest with you. There's a lot more classism than racism. Because the poor white kids, well, not poor, but working class white kids, parents who couldn't afford tuition, really, we got along. I tell you the truth, it was kind of like even the rich ones, man. I used to hang out with this one son. His father was a plastic surgeon, man. We used to go to his like private house, like where it was just us partying there all week, man. Like his dad was never even around, man. I hung out with state senators' sons, man. We getting drunk in the state. We getting drunk together in the car with the state senator badge. I mean, emblem on the back, bro. This is what I've done. I've been like, I understand though. But see, here's the thing. See, this is the difference between me, the Gemini, and these women, and a lot of men being raised by these women. I've always felt comfortable wherever I'm at. I've never felt less than. I've never have. I've always been able to say, hey, maybe he's got more money than me. Maybe he's better. Maybe he's got. Maybe he's a better basketball player than me. Maybe he's a little smarter than me. But I always knew there was something I was just as good as anyone, or maybe even a little bit better. I was always. I'm getting old and finished, but I've always been a good-looking man. I'm 6'6". I'm intelligent. So even if my money ain't equal to them, I know like in most categories I'm equal. But I think women already have these issues with like how they look. That's a thing with women in general. This is again another example of why women should not be leading anything. They have too many insecurities, and they don't know that their insecurities can be covered up with other things, and you need to let it go. See, men, ugly men, fat men, they know get some money, and they'll never call you ugly and fat again.
Talk about code switching. I'm talking about all of the above. Was friends with white people. Have literally lived with white people in my foster homes. Who thank
Oh
God
God,
were pure,
oh,
genuine
she's a
hearted
mess.
people. And I'm not to say that
See, I'm talking
every
about rich boarding schools. See, I'm talking about elite whites. But I don't know. She talking about foster home living. I don't know about that. I don't live. If I'm gonna be poor, I'm gonna be poor around blacks. So I ain't trying to be poor. No for.
white
I
person is like
joke.
this, but the majority. You have to understand that the day and age that we are in is very similar
So what?
to 50 years ago, 200 years
How
ago.
do you know? How do you know? I don't think she's 50. I'm 50, and I don't remember. I remember I'm 51. Like 50 years ago is 1974. I mean 50. Yeah, 50 years ago is 1976. Maybe she looking good. I don't think so. I don't think she's born in 1976. But she could be. But I don't remember what was going on. That's the 70s, man. Like it was lit. My uncles and them looked like they were. My uncles tell me it was the best time of their life, man. They were still having like being able to have relationships without worrying about condoms, and they were just partying. Bro. Everybody's partying, having fun. Man, I grew up in the era of AIDS. I grew up in the era of like the war with communism. We thought they wanted like nuke us. We had gang violence, crack. I mean, they had heroin, I guess, but like it sounded like this. So I don't know what she. I basically say all that to say, what is she talking about 50 years ago? And then she goes jumps from 50 years ago to 200. She's just making stuff up in her mind.
Ago. The only thing is that they are extremely well at being able to manipulate
Oh, yeah, you know
structure
what, man?
and
I'm done with her because she runs her mouth, I think,
the
forever. Let's see. See, she's still running her mouth, man. She's still running her mouth. I'm gonna go on to my man, bro. At the end, now listen. This is a dude that's Spanish dude. Now, see, this I only brought him on.
Are very
I brought this. Let me
nasty.
listen.
up
I
behind
didn't bring the
that.
Spanish dude on to start no trouble, man. Because I actually befriended him, and we cool because he's saying the same thing I've been trying to tell black men. And see, the thing I'm trying to tell black people, our own women, the world is watching you, and they're recognizing how you're behaving. And if you think they think that like all these other races of men are dying to have them. And I've been telling them that for 30, 40 years. I'm around white boys, I'm around everybody, I'm around Asian. Listen, they will sleep with you, but they think you are too aggressive. They think that's a nasty attitude. They don't think that you represent what they represent. And outside of a fling, like dating a little bit, when you're talking about marriage, settling down, now of course there's always the exceptions. As I was told, the exceptions only prove the rule. But here's a Spanish dude telling about his experiences, and I know the black they're gonna get mad for me, but I agree with him totally.
You heads up. These black women in America are very masculine.
Facts.
They have masculine energy. I learned this the hard way.
Because you ain't listen to me.
When I was a young guy, when they would give me attitude, I thought they were under period. I would make excuses for them. Maybe they're under period. Maybe they didn't sleep well. Why these black women were so feisty. I would make excuses for them.
Now, see, don't dismiss this man as being racist. I mean, he dates them, he likes them. I'm sure he would have married one if he would have found one that didn't do. Same thing for me. It's not like I hate black women. I think black women are gorgeous women. I hate when I look at them, they're beautiful, but then I look in their eyes and I just see evil. I see ill intent. I don't see camaraderie. I see beef.
I will continue to date them and have sex with them and spend my time and all that shit.
See?
Then when I started listening to Kevin Samuels, I realized
Godfather
that
salute. He woke a lot of dudes up.
masculine energy. And when you know this, that's when you put two and two together. That's why a lot of black women, they're raised by single mothers. They don't have father
It's
figures.
true. They think the world, and I know they thinking he's just memorizing talking points that he hears from people who dislike black people. I'm telling you, everything he's saying is true, and I'm black, and I'm just as black as any black woman that's gonna get up there running her yap. There ain't nobody more black or understand the culture is more than I do, and lived it, not just as a Hollywood actress, but as just a regular black man living it every day, being raised in it. I'm telling you, he ain't said one thing wrong.
The culture is kind of cooked, so they become very
The new culture is cooked.
masculine. These black women, very masculine. They want to take charge of the conversation. They want to
Facts.
talk down to a man,
Facts.
and like they'll be like saying things like, "Did I say that? I don't like to repeat myself." That's what one of my
New
black
ghetto
women
stuff.
said
It's
to
the
me
new
last
thing.
weekend. She said, "I don't like to repeat myself." Like,
I had a date recently with this gorgeous black woman from Chicago. Beautiful. 50 something years old. I'm an ex Division One athlete. She's just the mom of some kid trying to be an athlete. I'm trying to explain to her, I done played in Europe. I done played against some greats. I'm not saying I'm great. I'm just saying I've been there, did some things. I can tell you some things. She sat there and acted like because she birthed an athlete that she knew more than an athlete. So I actually I and again it sucks because a beautiful beautiful woman. It sucks. Sometimes I'm like, yo, just man, just try, but I can't. I'll be honest, I can't. I can't let your beauty like not a simp, not a sucker, not a weak man like that. I will not like give up my integrity and my honor because you got a fatty and you cute. I just won't. I just won't. I know I'm one of the few.
talking down to me, this black woman. White women and Latinas don't really do that. Maybe Latinas slightly more.
When he talks about Latinas, like mostly Puerto Ricans. Like if we're gonna actually like name it, at least in my experience, because I'm from New York. I don't know, like I've done, and maybe Dominican too. All New York Spanish women. Let's put it this way: any New York Spanish woman is going to be a problem. But there is a slight difference. There is still some type of femininity, a lot more left. I'm telling you, when you deal with the average black woman today, even the ones that aren't masculine, it's just too much aggressive. They don't even know how to be sweet to you to get something. And even when they're sweet to you, it's like so obvious it's to get something that you don't want to give them anything. You're like, God, you don't even know how to play the game no more. You don't even know how to like juice a man when a man feels good about getting juice. It's like when we deal with our women, you feel like dirt bag after you get juiced. These other cultures, at least I don't know, white women, they've lost their touch too. They don't know how to do it either, man. Like tell you the truth, all the women are cooked, to be honest, but ours is overly cooked.
But white girls, they're really feminine.
I wouldn't say that.
Black women are not known
Then I wouldn't say that, but I get what he's saying too.
to be feminine and girly. Okay,
They could be
they're
girly.
good in bed. If you get to have sex with them,
I think that's overrated, honestly. Yeah, bro, it's all the same, bro. Stop. Bro, listen, yo, I promise you, I done slept with women of almost every culture, man. Like, there was a point that I remember when I was young, I was like, I wonder what I'd look like in every race, like, but I don't at least, like, every man tries to do this. I don't know whether they tell you or not. Like, worldly men, us Renaissance men, us classic men, bro. Like, we don't fall, but like, we when in Rome, like, I'll bag any woman, bro. I don't like all women. I'm a conqueror, man. I'm a man. Like all women can be my women. I don't Chinese. I can go over, if I go over there with my army. I conquer China. Guess what? I got a bunch of Chinese women. If I go over to Spain, I conquer Spain. Guess what? Got a bunch of Spanish women. Like that's how like men. We don't really see. You got women telling you the rules, bro. Like, we can go wherever we want as long as we go with power. But your mama never going. Your mama ain't gonna teach you that. Your dad might teach you that. A five, you know where I got that lesson from? A 5%er, man. A 5%, a kind of radical 5%er. I swear to you. To those of you who know the 5%, they teach that the black man is God. Well, he was like, "It's God. Don't all women belong to me?" And I was like, "Bro, like, yo," I was like, "Yeah, I guess that's kind of logical to me." I was like, "All right, I'll start running with it." I don't think I'm God, but I understand the concept as a man. Man, we ain't got no boundaries, man. There's no limits. There ain't no women should be putting no limits on no man, bro. Those women should be competing to get the best men. It ain't us competing to get average to below average chicks, bro. We done messed the game up, bro.
It's hard because you gotta tolerate a lot of bullshit. But when
Why?
you do have sex with them, enjoy it, then quickly bounce out.
That's every woman today, bro. I was just with a Spanish chick, man, and that's yo. They don't. The women are on that time, bro. Like, but the truth is, that's what it is. He's saying, listen, don't get emotionally attached, and that's something I've learned. But that applies to Spanish, white, black, Asian, even. Nobody, none of these women are looking for love, unless you're a 6 foot, six figure, 6 foot, whatever they say. They looking for, and even those dudes can't keep their women. So really, that's for every woman, brother.
Because it's not worth the crap you
They're not domesticated in any way, even for their own children.
cleaning is beneath them. They only want to work and they want you to pay their bills and take them out. It's a fucking mess.
It's a mess. With the stink face and all. Yo, salute, brother. You ain't wrong. And I'm glad you got. See, I need more men of every culture to get out here. But listen, men, these women have been going on attack for decades. And we've been allowing them to run their mouth with reckless abandon. It is now time. It is now time, and oh man, I should have got on the big man. It is now time for men. It's time for us to take our spot back, bro. No more taking these chicks out all days. No more. And also recognize that this isn't really a black thing. This is a black woman thing. This racism in America is a black woman thing and her children. Gemini Lounge, man, we only outside to tell the truth. We don't care how you feel. It will be told. It will be revealed. Peace.